program, all of it. It's just all psychological warfare. That's cool. You and I just had a nice little chat, Ma, and it wasn't even, we weren't even live. So I guess that one is just for us. What? We just had a nice conversation, and then I don't even remember it now. I lost my train of thought. It derailed. Man, this energy's weird. It's wild. I feel, I don't know. Yeah? 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 That's what's happening now, Mom. That's what's happening. It's a freaking gonna be a... Woo! It's gonna be crazy. And see, that's the thing is, like, knowing how... Hold on a sec. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, because people are going to start talking about how they feel about that stuff more. They're going to find their words. They're going to have to, or they're going to combust. Things are getting crazy. I noticed that today, like, I don't know, because they have their temperature, ambient temperature, and then they do their real feel. And I'm just like, I just go by how my body feels. And, you know, and my system, like, I wasn't out real long, and it's like the heat got to me more. Yeah, it was a trip. And I started thinking about stuff, and like how the summer's gonna go, and like in other places where there's... Vinny, you're such a predictable dog. Good boy, Chuck. So, things are gonna get pretty heated. We're gonna see what spiritual, how people have been doing the work. That's what we're gonna see. I'm gonna see if I've been doing the work. If it's, you know, all the meditation I've been doing the last few years, all the discipline, you know, just trying to take better care of myself. Because now it's like we're gonna put it to the test. Good boy, Benny. And I was thinking about that today, because, like, I don't know, where I live, it's not too freaking hot. I mean, it's not even too hot. It's just I'm more sensitive. The older I get more and more sensitive. And I started out sensitive from the get-go. I had a lot of markers against me in the sensitivity realm. It kind of gives you, I don't know. It places your radio station higher up on the dial. If that makes sense. That makes sense to me. So, I was thinking about that. Because everybody's been... people need to take into... Hey! It's just a little baby. It doesn't even want to bother you. People need to take into consideration they've been all shut up the last couple years, you know, working from home. A lot of people in the air conditioning, you know, and that's, you don't use your system, you don't use your body, you lose it. It doesn't operate in an optimal manner as it should, is, you know, so people got to go out and they got to be in the heat, and they got to play, you know, from a young age, you know. Because when I was, I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I remember it's been a lot hotter than it is now in a lot of places. You know, and then you go back and look in history, and it's like, yep, you know, because when I had the chicken pox, I was, probably 7 years old. We lived in Pine Grove, and it was 117. It was 117 degrees. I remember that. And I would lay on a sheet, and I itched so bad, and they say, don't itch, because it'll make you scar. I got one scar somewhere around here, and then I can't remember. Because I remember I came out with only 2 scars, but I was so miserable. I was 7 years old and I wanted to die. I'm like, this is what life is. no, this is not cool. This is not fun. And I'd lay in the bathtub for like an hour and a half, just soak. And so I love the water of the sound of the sound underwater, stuff like that. And Mom could only afford to run the swamp cooler for a couple hours in the afternoon, and I'd lay on a sheet right in front of it. Get out of the bathtub and lay on the sheet. It just was just like wonder what heaven was like and what they did in heaven, because this was not fun. That's kind of how my whole life has been. So, but people have been, but the older I get, it's harder. I'm more sensitive to temperatures. I'm more sensitive to taste. My eyes are more sensitive to light. So when Mom and I go out, we both wear sunglasses. My glasses that I have to see for my nearsightedness, they're transition, so they're natural sunglasses. But when I don't wear them when I'm around home, I just wear sunglasses when I take the dogs out. We've had a lot of cloud coverage lately, and it's helped a lot. So on top of people have coddling themselves for the last 2 years, 3 years, now they're coming out, and their system, and a lot of people, for whatever reason, their systems have been compromised from diet, lack of nutrition, lack of exercise, the magic elixir, whatever, pick your poison, and that has brought people's sensitivity levels way up. And this is how I often think this is how the meek are going to inherit the earth. People are just going to be so sensitive. It's just like, either we're just going to be made to die off, or things are going to need to be made more accessible. And they're doing the big land grab. Governments are just they're just, okay, get them. Have you ever seen like an animal strike and like the end of a life? I grew up watching those Mutual Omaha shows. It's such a trip how life, we create life in this crazy story that we live. I just don't know why I made it so hard for myself. I could see myself in the Akashic library going, oh yeah, I'll take it. Give me this crap load and this crap load, and I can handle it. My ego just like, oh yeah, it's easy, and I'll do it all, and just, neglect, all of it. Just dump it on me. I can take it. I'll just show people you can just be a happy person under all those circumstances. And then it happened, and I'm just like, ugh, man, life is hard. Okay, I get it. I've been humbled. I see the errors of my ways. I have, and I've lived a very egocentric lifestyle, and where I didn't care about people as much as I should. I've always cared about people, but not as much as I should. There's always more than you can do, more that you can do. So people really should take into consideration that all this, whatever we do in our life, we do it to ourselves. So I made the decision to leave corporate America and to be a stay-at-home daughter and to hang out with Mom. Because every day that she's alive, it's a miracle. And I'm going to be with her every day until her last breath. Hey, Ma, how you doing today? She's doing well today. She had an upset stomach. I always worry when her stomach gets upset, because this is the second one. She got throw up sick a few weeks ago, and I think it's the heat. Yesterday I think it was an egg. I think it was her breakfast that it didn't sit right. I got to do the float trick on every egg and make sure that they're all okay. And I always say prayers over when I cook and stuff like that. Blessing the food and stuff. So that one fell through the cracks. So she had a little stomach ache, a little diarrhea. But she ate a little noodles a little while ago. It's just, I didn't have kids, and I don't know what it's like to be 71 years old. So, and I didn't have a lot of people take care of me in a coddling way. I don't understand people that are coddled. I really don't. I don't. I don't have the same brain space is that people that like their parents like paid for them to go to college and bought them all the furniture and took them to the door and all of that. And I've seen it. I've seen a lot of life like people like they live in these like dream worlds, and they've made it so they're not really touched by reality a whole lot. But everybody's gonna get their chance here by end of summer. Reality's gonna smack everybody in the face. So today was a pretty good day, all in all. I went out early this morning. I went to the Talpa Farmers Market. It's a smaller, more intimate kind of venue. They only had probably 6 or 7 tents set up, and there's a guy that I was talking to. He made beautiful boxes, urns, you name it. He made it, out of wood, and he gave me these 2 little hearts. It was cool. There's one of them. That's cool. I love wood. I've always loved wood. There's a little cross in it he made, and then this one has a little cross in it. Sometimes wood smells good. Like this, I pulled out of a knot in a round drum wheel thing in the backyard. This one smells good. It's cedar. I'm like, smell it. Smell-o-vision! But and then just the grain on it is I love wood. I told the guy today, I was like, I've been trying to manifest my freaking wood shop for 6 years now, and I haven't done it yet. So anyway, and then I got those, and then he gave this. He's like, here, give this to, because everywhere I go I talk about mom. It's how I bring her with me. And then he's like, give this to your mom. That's both sides, right? And then boop, it comes out. Boop. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Mom digs it. And then, well, I didn't even go in order because this was like, I just went up. I stopped and talked to these women. I wonder what happened to that. I wonder if the cats drug it off. I got some roseberry. They gave me a stick of it. Is that it? There it is. And this is just like so fragrant. It's amazing. It's this big old huge, it just keeps going. It's the rosemary. Wow. But it just smells, just putting it in the van, it smells so good. The woman had the most beautiful flowers, and she had a dahlia, a purple dahlia. I was like, what kind of flower is this? And she's like, a dahlia. I was like, oh, like the movie, the Black Dahlia. Ooh, okay, I get it. It's a beautiful, freaking stunning flower, and we got to talking. And I was like, yeah, I don't like the Taos Farmers Market. It's so cliquey. It's just another one of those clubs, man. And I freaking am so sick of clubs and inclusion with paid membership required and just all this freaking lame ass hypocrisy. Although I am seeing changes, I'm seeing shifts. I saw, and they're subtle, mind you, but people are having changes of heart. And that is what's supposed to be happening. People are supposed to be having changes of heart. And it was it was something that just came by my radar on a headline of that tattoo artist chick, Kat Von D, that she moved to Indiana. I used to watch her show years, she was on my radar. Things come on my radar and then it's like, that ain't for me, so take the good and leave the rest. Anyway, so she recently moved to Indiana, covered up, got sober, covered up her arms in all black ink, because she's a tattoo artist, so she has all these tattoos and she just covered her arms and so it's just black ink now. and she just like threw away all of her witch books. All of her witch books. See, the thing of it is I look at there's levels and degrees. There's things that people are willing to do, and there's things that people are just not willing to do. You know, there's a lot of people that get hit in the face because they're not willing to defend themselves, and we're seeing it all over social media. It's a trip, man. It's by what do people not have reflexes anymore? It is so weird what the collective consciousness is like melding into this hodgepodge of just people's psychologies are dissolving. You know, they're all I think really a wake up is that life as you understand it is not how you understood it, and then you start understanding it in a new way. That to me is what an awakening is, and a lot of people are having them, man. People are having shifts in big ways, big scary ways, and I've been talking to people that I value their opinion, and they've been thinking the same thing, that freaking we are on the precipice of something huge. And so many people are feeling it. Like, you know, something that's gonna be like, it don't matter about your stupid, you know, your imposed climate change, you know. So that was 117 in Reading. I think Reading saw 120 that year too, but I mean, this was back in 1981. So, unless they have those record searchlights on microfilm still at the downtown Reading Library, you know, there's all history's lost. This to themselves. I'm seeing concepts, visuals of these big flying ships like they had on Wall-E. That's a trip. These big, huge, ginormous like communities with the dome. It's like they're like cruise ships for the sky. I'm like, dude, are you gonna have the freaking fat people on hovercrafts too, just like on Wall-E? Probably. It's crazy, man. It's freaking nutty. The world is getting so nutty. So I had a kind of a realization today. Hi, Lily. Because it's hot. When I get hot, I'm a hothead. I got a temper and all this stuff, and I was thinking about it a lot today, because with the way the energy is, I mean, you could feel it. You could feel it's like I go out in public and the energy to me feels like a boiling pot of water is what it feels like. And everybody, you could just feel the tension, except I had positive exchanges today. But like people are revving their engines, they're cutting each other off in traffic. They're just straight up being freaking hostile, just like the astrology says. And it's only gonna get for some people, depending on what your placements are for yourself. It's like, what was it? Joni Patry was like, if you have these degrees, you might want to just sit home, you know, stay home for this week or whatever. I don't know. But and I'm just like, God, because I don't want to be more of what's wrong in the world. I don't. So I don't want to be the more hostility added to a already hostile environment. And most days I keep it pretty cool. I went to the store this morning. That was a pretty positive exchange. You know, mostly it's cool. On a one-on-one, and things are cool. It's when I get all freaking in groups, I get all twisted up. And there's like some arts, some waste of misappropriation of funds, you know. Some BS where they freaking block off the town square and have dancers and act like you care about history, when you just keep repeating have our freedoms taken away. I've heard that conversation a lot recently. It's like in local communities all over the place, more farmers are getting their land taken, then they're giving it to Bill Gates. That's what it seems like, yeah. It's like local communities or local people are selling their souls out to freaking the beast. They're screwing over their own people to serve the beast of the system. the beast that doesn't care about people, but it pays their paycheck, and then they can just sit there and say, I was just doing my job. People, I wonder what the world would be like if every person on the planet that ever has said, I'm just doing my job, and that's not in my job description, if they just fell off the planet, what we can build from that. Because that is a terrible excuse. That's not even an explanation. That is a straight up excuse. Because there's people out there that have hearts and that will want to help people, and it's not in their job description. And every single one of you people that have impeded progress because it was in your job description and not help people and put people, people behind those desks, they're freaking putting people on, it's because of them, people are going on the street. People are being put out on the street everywhere. But look at all the freaking people living their bubble lives, living for themselves. What they don't get is they're going to come back. See, energy doesn't die. You take your last breath, that is your matter. That is you, that is your spirit. So that's going to get sucked in someplace. You're going to find another vessel, and that vessel is going to have freaking some pretty wild experiences based it on the level of withholding you've done in your incarnation. I've seen it, man. I can't tell you how many times I've just fallen down in public. And people just ignore you. They don't try it. So whenever I see somebody fall down, I'm like, I'll run up to them. I'll look around. I'm like, I see you. Are you okay? Mostly people can't handle stuff. We're seeing a lot of cowards. You're seeing a lot of people show themselves for who they really are. And that's going to be a hard lesson to learn. I saw this little Navy dude. These people do these acts. I'm like, dude, they don't even look okay. They don't even look like they're okay. Like they're balanced human beings, And this dude freaking got mad because they had a freaking open relationship. And she found somebody else and he couldn't. And she decided she liked him more than her. And he couldn't handle it in the backyard. And the thing of it is a coward is a coward is a coward. I know what the feeling of a coward is. I know what a coward feels like. That's a better way of saying it. I walk down the street, these big old guys, I'm like, dude, one day you're gonna freaking throw your girl in front of harm's way. You're gonna show it, dude. You're gonna show people always show people who they are. That's why I let people know I'm salty, I am cantankerous. Lots of people think I'm a jerk, and I really, really, really can be. I'm trying not to be, because I think that's my life lesson is I gotta freaking not be angry ever at all. And for me, that is very difficult. But it's starting to get to the thing, because, man, I got 8 anthrax vaccines in me. Who knows what that is doing to my... I know it's fried me. I know it has. I can't hold my tongue the way I used to. So what I do is I challenge myself when I go out. I'm just like, just don't say a word to anybody. Like while you're driving, don't say a word to anybody. Because people are just stupid. And I'm loud. So when I yell, people can hear me. So I'm just like, don't be part of it, Marge. Don't be part of it. This next period, don't be part of it. And plus, I've been under so much stress the last 6 years. And I think we're almost to the end of it, hopefully. We're never to the end of it. But a place just where we can chill for a while, I hope. Huh, Ma? Wouldn't that be nice? And then, not have to worry about moving Mom anymore, stuff like that. But it's just so we were talking about that at the farmer's market. I said, we got all these $2 million properties all over the place. I said, we really need to start going back to community living and have common areas and a common purpose, because we got all this empty properties, and because they're taking people's options to live away here in Taos by making it illegal. They're criminalizing, they're making people criminals There's a lot of people that live on the outskirts all over New Mexico that have chosen to live an off-grid lifestyle, a not controlled by the government lifestyle of all different economic backgrounds and stuff. It's windy out. And all these people, they're saying you all got to have power running to your house. You got to have running water. You got to have all utilities. You can't have any cars that are broken. You know, okay, you can't live here anymore. All right, where am I going to go? I don't have anywhere to go. I guess I'll live under this bridge. I mean, that's what people are doing all over the place. I guess I'll live in this tent. And I have ideas to freaking put dude, all people want is a space of their own. And to be heard. People want to be heard. There's a lot of freaking hurt people out there, man. And people just don't care about other people. The way I've heard other people talk about, like, I've never pictured, like, terrible things to happen to people, because that stuff comes back to you. You don't do that. That's bad juju, man. That's bad. That's black magic. So, and the people, more juice for them. Ha ha ha. You know. Because they were more diligent with their higher power. They cared more about their evil doings than you know, than all the do-gooder religions of the planet. All of them put together, because the world would not be the way it is if everybody was oh so very virtuous and righteous in their heart. Mom and I have been pretty protected. It's every bit. All these places are supposed to be having a heat wave. All over. Let's see if it'll load now, because it didn't load before. Now it's like Redding. Yeah, I mean, it ain't nothing for Redding to see several consecutive days of being over 110 degrees. When I went into the Air Force, that was the summer. There was 11 days, consecutive days of over 110 degrees, and because 3 times a day during that period, I'd get up at 5 in the morning, I'd do it at noon, and then I'd do it at 6 in the evening. I freaking did this route because I had to lose 28 pounds to get into the Air Force. And I was just like, that's how I get. When I get determined, I'm like, nothing's going to stop me. Except people's freaking egos and freaking crap like that. That's what, I don't know, man. People get their rocks off from, like, putting people in a bad way. It's a trip. It's weird. The sadistic mentality, it's a trip. So, I forgot what I was saying. Benny, go ahead, get back up there, Benny. You're not naughty. Come on, buddy. Come on. Good boy, Benny. Well, hey, Todd. Come on, Bubba. I know you're right there. Good boy. So all in all, it's been pretty cool. Because I can't handle the heat. And, like, I can't handle extreme. And I noticed that today, because I'm like getting winded. I was talking to my buddy Carl, and I noticed, I was like, I'm getting winded. I don't have air conditioning in my car either, in my van. So it's windows down. But I was like, I was noticing the differences compared to last year. And as we get older, we get more and more sensitive to stuff. Unless you bury all that sensitivity with all that nasty junk. But other parts of the country are, in fact, having a lot of heat. But so, like, Ready in the next few days, it's 103 today. And then it's going to be 107, then 109. And their cool down is 105. And then, yeah, here come the 110s. I mean, they're not even seeing single digits until, like, the 3rd. I mean, it's just, I don't like that kind of heat. I can't function in that kind of heat. I commend those that can. I used to be able to. And now, but see, now people, it's like, I don't know, there's just so many people that stand around all the time. From all these news stories, There's one, because people in Albuquerque, there's so much murder and mayhem all over the place, man. You know what's a trip? You can really tell the spirit of a state when they celebrate things like actors that they actually put in a statue because of Breaking Bad. So they're celebrating the drug lord and the crackhead. They're hey, this is great. Let's accept this. This is what we want people to look at and to commit to mimic. This is how we want people. It's ridiculous. We have a bunch of freaking people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s that still have the mentality that they've had when they were 15 because they've all just been yes men, just been told, just given yes. They're freaking sadistic bro clubs and stuff like that. And now it's just out of control. So we're going to see more crap. And I wonder if people are going to use their Second Amendment. Because everybody oh, my Second Amendment, it's all about my freedom to bear arms. So you're just going to sit your fat ass on the couch and with your arms bare, with your bared arms on your lap as the tyranny is setting in all across the land of freaking America? Really? No wonder there's so many necessary male enhancement drugs. Men aren't men anymore. There's a handful, but compared to all of the men that are on the planet, the handful of the balanced guy, the guy that is cool, being the boss, but can change his own kid's diaper too, that is no problem with his feminine side, that can be the nurturer and the caregiver. See, how many of those guys are around? How many of those guys exist? I know I don't have any of, I don't know a whole lot of those. I know a handful, but compared to all the men I know, and then you have the women. Because women can be I can be in my freaking toxic masculinity just as much as the freaking bro across the street, whatever. The machismo that's all over the place. I'm no different. Balance is balance. And my astrological, I have more masculine energy in my planetary alignments than I do feminine energy. So I have to work harder to nurture my feminine side and to cultivate that and to bring that out. But the thing of it is people think, what, you think people think the feminine side isn't freaking ready to rage? Ask any mom bear, So I think that's kind of, people are kind of have skewed ideas of what feminine and masculine energies are. Took me a while to figure it out. It's different for everybody. We're all on a different path. Anyway, I think I've run my mouth long enough. I was just thinking about that today. It's that, with all these people, this extra sense, everybody's getting sensitive, man. People got to take that in consideration. They freaking really let themselves go the last year, so they're out of shape. And when that happens, then you feel the effects of things more. That's why I'm really ready to freaking step into my tribe and knowing my soul family and that stuff, because I need to heal. My energy field needs to heal. I need to feel more of that vibrational frequency. I need to feel it. Not just me giving love by taking care of things, because a lot of times it's work. It doesn't feel like love. It feels like work. It feels like chores. It feels like tasks. I need to feel all of those good feelings that a lot of, I feel I've missed out on them a lot in life. And I'm ready for it, because that's the only thing that's going to heal me. Oh, well.